or afternoon, depending on what time it is for you. For me, it is the morning. Today we're on page 121, and we're working on Module 5, Lesson 17. So if you need to pause and get there, go ahead. Our problem today says, Ava drew the quadrilateral shown and called it a trapezoid. Adam said, Ava is wrong. Explain how a set square can be used to determine who is correct. So today's is a little different. If you'd like to pause it and think about it and go through this on your own, you are more than welcome to. If you're feeling a little uncomfortable with that, since we haven't done much with two-dimensional shapes this year, then you can just listen to me explain it. So decide what you want to do. If you're with me, let's get started. So it says Ava drew the quadrilateral. So if we start there, we should know from years past, definitely in second grade, what a quadrilateral is. So you know me, I like to unpack words. We'd probably start with quad. And one of you brilliant children would say, that means four. So we know a quadrilateral is a four-sided shape, right? Four-sided. And we'll say polygon, because that's the correct use of words there, polygon, which is a closed shape, right? A four-sided polygon. So Ava drew the four-sided polygon shown and called it a trapezoid. Trapezoid. So let's think through this next word, a trapezoid. I know from my learning, and maybe you do too, that a trapezoid is a quadrilateral that has at least one set of parallel lines. So at least one of those opposite sides is parallel to each other. So if I'm just looking at it right here, to me, I'm like, yeah, that could definitely be considered a trapezoid in my opinion, just looking at it with my eyes. I know that this and these two opposite lines are definitely not parallel. Remember, if something is parallel, they're never going to cross each other. So like railroad tracks are parallel. But if it has any kind of like tilt towards each other, then eventually those lines will meet and cross. So if I extended this line, imaginary, right here, and extended this line, they would crash. They would meet and intersect. I'm not sure if you can see that, but let me use a darker color. So what I just did was I drew a dotted line, just very faint. And to show that eventually, if these lines extended, they would hit each other, they would intersect. So that means that it is not a parallel line. However, just using like my eyesight, looking here, in my mind, these might never cross. They look like they go straight, kind of like train tracks, down forever. So it says, Adam says Ava is wrong. So Adam disagrees that Ava's shape is a trapezoid. Then it says, explain how a set square. So a set square is something with a right angle. A right angle, if you remember, is a 90-degree angle. So it has like, here's a 90-degree angle. It has a sharp, like straight up and then straight across. The lines are like perfectly perpendicular. So you can use a set square to decide who is correct. Now, the interesting thing about this application problem today is it is not asking if Ava's right, and it's not asking if Adam's right. It's just saying explain how a set square could be used to determine who is correct. So to use a set square, you need anything with that right angle. So you could use the edge of a ruler. I put a ruler in everyone's bag. You could use a protractor because a protractor has 90-degree angles on it. You could use what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a book. You know me, I love to read. I'm reading Us Against You. And I can use this right here as my set square, and I can line it up. If I have two right angles across from each other, that's going to make for those parallel lines. And that's how we can say either yes, it is a trapezoid, or no, it is not a trapezoid. So if I look at this and I line my set square up, if it perfectly outlines it, then that is a right angle, and it does in this case. Now I just need to look at the other side. So I move it over to the other side. I'm going to do just like that. And again, it lines up perfectly, meaning that this line down here and this line down here are in fact parallel. But it didn't ask if this is a trapezoid. It said, explain how a set square can be used to determine who is correct. So I want you to pause it and think about it, and then we'll go ahead and write about it. So I'm going to start with my sentence starter. A set square can be used to determine who is correct. A set square can be used to determine who is correct by seeing if the angles are 90 degrees or right angles. And that's it for today.